We talked about many things, but something I wanted to tell you that he asked me that are you ready to work for me? Are you ready to spread my message in Nepal? I said yes, I love you and I would like to do anything for you, whatever you like, because I have fallen in love with you. And I have been to many masters before, but I was never satisfied, never hooked. So you are my master and I am your disciple. Whatever you will say will be the last word for me. I will do. Bhagavan said that if you work hard, then one day the whole Nepal will turn into my color. And people, my vision will be spread in whole Nepal as Buddhism has spread in Tibet. I was young, in my 20s, I was a student, and it was very difficult for me to understand the meaning of what Bhagavan meant actually. I could not understand that time, and I was overexcited to be in his presence. His presence is so magnetic, so powerful, that nobody can remain incensed in his presence. His presence was so powerful that you get hypnotized by his energy, his aura, his powerful. His presence was so powerful that people used to get entranced just sitting near him. I was also feeling a very trance-like experience. And Osho told me that if you work hard, but you will have to work hard, then one day the whole Nepal will turn into my line, and I will be as popular in Nepal as Buddha is popular in Tibet. The same story will be repeated. He told me in 69, that time he was not popular, he was not known even in whole India, only in Hindi belt, only in North India people knew him because he was talking only in Hindi. There was no English discourse. So people were not, he was not popular even in India, and he told me that the whole Nepal will turn into his color. So it was very difficult for me to digest and understand what he meant. And he told me to open a center. That time there was no sannyas, there was no dynamic meditation had not started. So the only organization those days existed is Yuva Krantida, the organization of the inspired youth. That he has started a organization, it's called Organization of Inspired Youth. So he said that you open a branch of Ukraine, Nepal, and distribute my lecture, my tape discourse, my books. There are very few books available. Talk about me and invite people for meditation, and that way the word will spread. He gave me the whole blueprint, and I promised that I will work for him. So friend, those days were difficult days because Osho was not known outside India. In India also he was known only in the major city where people understand Hindi. And the book From Sex to Super Consciousness was published exactly the same time. So he was famous as a sex guru. People used to understand him as a sex guru. That was the general impression of the people, that he teaches free sex. And media has created an image of Osho that he does not like any discipline and he wants free sex, free living. So that type of impression was there in the press and in the society. So when I started my center in Nepal, I had to face a lot of opposition. First from my own family, parents, friends. They all opposed me. Nobody was in favor. I was the only Osho lover in Nepal, and nobody became interested also. I had to work hard for 6 years. When the second man became interested, for 6 years I was alone working. Nobody was coming to the center. I have opened the center, but nobody was coming to the center. Nobody was buying the books. Nobody was interested. Nobody was listening to me. But I was doing my program. So the first man became interested. It took 6 years. Patience working. Then that also how it happened that I was running a center in my home, and my house was in a corner of the city. And those days Kathmandu was not there was no convenient transportation in Kathmandu. People had to walk. There was no public transport. So my house was not accessible for everybody because it was in the corner of the town. So people were not coming because of the lack of transportation. And I didn't have car, I didn't money, I didn't have anything, just a small house. And my parents had given me one room. So in my room I was doing the center, I was giving his books, his pictures to sell, cassettes, and library, tape library, book library, everything. It was one room coming. And that was my bedroom also. And that was a meditation room also. And that was my office also. Everything was in one room. Very small room. Less than 200 square feet. So less than 20 square meters. So I worked every holiday. I used to invite people. I used to play his lectures. I used to meditate myself. But nobody was coming. Saturday is a holiday in Nepal. Nobody was coming. I got frustrated. And many times when Pune Ashram started, I went to live with him in Pune. I lived with him for a few months in 74 when the ashram started. Then again he called me, he said, no, you have to go and work in Nepal. I'm interested in Nepal. So you go back to your hometown. So after staying a few months, he sent me back. Every time I wanted to go, I was allowed maximum 4 to 6 months, then he will say, go back. He knew that work is going to happen. So, friend, it took long years, patience work, and people were not interested in Osho. Then I decided that I should go to the downtown and sell his book in the center of town. Because in the center of the town, a lot of people walk, it is busy. So I started selling his book on footpath. There is a oak tree in the center of Kathmandu, a very central location. And in 74, it was not a crowded place. So I started my bookshop there in the open, under the tree. I used to sell books on this white seat with a keep also picture and play his lectures and sell his books. So that was the first bookshop, Osho bookshop in Nepal, and it was also an information center because after office hour, I was working, I had to work to support myself. I was working full time. So after 5 o'clock when my office was closed, I had to go there and open my shop till the night, till it becomes dark.